Well, I think we were talking about Catholicism.
Of course.
Who's this Spurg?
What's a spurg?
Bro, who's like standing on a windy like shoreline somewhere?
That's me.
Honestly, it's poetic. It's poetic, like, to be honest. You know, he's like one with nature, taking in God's creation. Look at that. He can't even put up a fight now because he knows it's true. He knows I'm right.
That's a fan.
That's not a fan, dude.
Really? You want me to turn it up?
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean, look, all you're doing is you're like getting on your tippy toes and you're putting your chin towards the wind because we all know you're like on the Isle of Wight right now. You're on the coast. You're like looking at the ocean, or at least you'd want to be.
You
There's
missed
a
your
part of
flat,
you,
so you're thinking of other options, dude. You're
yeah.
looking saying heck across that ocean. Wait, so you guys muted mathematician? I find that beautiful.
No, I think he muted himself for doing some weird stuff.
No, I'm pretty sure Supreme muted him.
We muted him, but he muted Mole for no reason.
Yeah, like he came in here and Mole was just muted, and he barely. I don't even remember what Mole was saying, but
He was making a joke about if you have sex with a Jewish woman, your soul will be cursed.
Yeah, but dude, that's not really like
yeah,
the type of
that's a joke.
discourse we want to have here in the Ask the Catholics channel. You get me? Because that's
Are you
degenerate.
a mod?
Yeah, dude. What are you trying to
I'm
say?
not. I'm a Catholic. I'm a
Are you
Catholic,
anti?
and I
Are you
and
anti-Catholic?
no, I'm a Catholic, and I align myself with the ideas of Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He wrote about these in his book, The Phenomenon of Man. I highly
So you're not
encourage
a
you guys to
god.
read
You're
it.
not a god-hating atheist.
No, dude. Like I said, I'm a Catholic.
Yeah, so again, which church father did you quote?
Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. He was a Jesuit priest. Yeah.
So you don't quote Athanasius, you don't quote Tertullian, you don't quote
I
Polycarp.
mean, I'm not that well versed, and you know what? I know that all of these great thinkers deserve their own intellectual investment on my part as well. So like, I have to do some more reading. But like, I kind of, if I am going to quote one of the greats, one of the ones that have been beautified, Saint Thomas Aquinas, he said that there are two roads to God, right? Through reason or faith. So.
Sure.
I mean, fight. I know that you keep on trying this antagonistic dialogue tree, and it's just like out of just a sheer abundance of love and deeper understanding, I just keep on giving you verbal riposts.
Okay.
First
Yeah.
of all, the word is riposte, not
Thank you
riposte.
for correcting me. I appreciate that.
Actually, I'm kind of on Letty's side now. The way he's responding.
Look, all I'm saying is you're not quoting from the church fathers, you're quoting from some priest.
Dude, why can't we all just band together and be a stronger force? Why we got to infight like this?
Oh, we're not infighting, but here's the thing. Like I said, bro, I
This
also
is
kind
what
of
mathematician wants, dude.
well, tuna can Jerry. I'm also kind of like of the mind of imitatio Christi. And because of
Right.
that mentality, fight keeps on trying to fight me, and he can't help but like open up his bald fist and extend a hand to try to shake mine and even hug me, right? Because he's like, what's going on here? Like this is weird. Like I keep on trying to swing at him and stab him, and I'm just letting him stab me and swing at me. You know?
Right.
How do you think that's what's going on here?
No, because that is what's going on here.
Am I
Like
being
you just
contentious
corrected
with
me.
you?
You corrected me and you told me that the word is riposte. And then I
Riposte.
said, "Thank you, I stand corrected." And now and
The word
now
is
I have
riposte,
been
not riposte.
oh, you're right. The word is
This is
riposte.
like cringe
And
to listen to, bro.
I
This is
stand
cringe.
corrected doubly, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Oh.
where am I being contentious? What am I doing? That's the point of
No, you're
contention.
not though. You're not. You're not being.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
then I'm
The
not saying.
dialogue tree was possibly headed towards
Bro, we're about to
belligerent
split
waters.
off and create a
Okay,
new
seriously, can we
denomination
move
here, dude.
on? Like, I feel like you're trolling.
I
Yeah,
don't
Okay.
and
even.
then
Are
well,
you
and
even
then
Catholic?
Mathematician's gone, so we can have some serious dialogue now.
Are you
yeah,
even Catholic? Can you
yeah,
say
I
the
am.
Apostles' Creed?
No, man, it's been a while since I took my confirmation and I did my
What do you mean?
catechism,
Like you
man.
say
Like
you
I'm
say that
fuzzy on that.
say that in church. Say that in
I'll
church.
I'll
Every
be honest. I'll be honest, dude. Like I'm kind of like a Catholic in the sense that like I don't even go to church. It's been years since I had my last confession. Decades even, to be honest.
So you are a
decades.
lapsed Catholic.
What's up?
That would make you a lapsed Catholic.
A last
A
Catholic? What
lost?
does that
A
mean?
lost? Did you
Lapsed.
say lost?
Lasped.
Last. Wait, what'd she
L
say?
A L A S T T.
LASPE.
Lapsed.
No.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's no wafer for you
LAPSED,
now.
like
It's
a
a
If you go
time
to
wafer.
lapse.
services, you can't take the body of Christ now. You're out.
No,
Oh,
that's not
is
how it
that what
works.
it means?
Yep, you don't get the wafer now. Only
Yeah,
the
that
real
way.
Catholics get the wafer.
I know.
Hey,
I still
don't
remember
call
what
it a
the wafer
wafer.
tastes like, though. You know.
Don't
No,
call it a
no
wafer.
crunchy for you.
No, but
No
that's the
crunchy.
thing, though. I still remember what
Why
it
is this
tastes
guy
like,
so
though.
disrespectful? Supreme Potato, do your job. Get rid of this guy. He's Jewish.
Yeah,
No, I'm
that's
saying
true.
like if you go to a Catholic service, they'll say only true Catholic can take
Okay, but
communion.
Scrub, you're making fun of the Eucharist by calling it a wafer. Like, we believe that's the true body of Christ. And then it's not about true Catholics only being able to receive it. It's if you are a practicing Catholic, you're able to receive it. If you're a lapsed
Yeah.
Catholic, you can't receive the Eucharist.
Oh, lapsed. Now I get what you're saying. Lapsed.
Lapsed.
Yeah. LAPSE. Got it. Lapsed. Got
Oh,
it.
lapse. I thought she said last, the way she was saying it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, last. What? No, that doesn't make it. No, but now I understand. No, yeah, absolutely. I'm a lapsed Catholic, but I think more to the point though, because I have been engaging in a bit of perennialist investigation where like I've been doing like readings into other religions as well, like a sort of like a comparative study on my own just for fun and just because I find it fascinating. And what I'm starting to find is the golden thread. Like St. Thomas Aquinas was right. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So
Mhm.
if you believe that Aquinas was right, if you believe in the five powers, then why would you not go to church if you understand that it is edifying for your soul to receive the Eucharist? Then why would you, knowing that is correct, deny that? Why would you
Yeah.
do that?
It's not that I don't deny it, right? It's just like I said, I'm engaging in my own unique relationship
Dude, he's
with
living his
God.
truth journey, man. Living his own
No, like let me
individual truth.
explain. Let me explain. So like when I work out, right? And I'm like trying to like lift weights, I'm not doing it to be stronger. And I mean this, dude. Like I'm chasing the pain. And in my mind, I'm like trying to kind of like tap into the
All
imitatio
right, I'm back.
Christi.
This is
Hey,
ridiculous.
Supreme Potato. And then I'm like, I'm trying to like, remind myself that any of the pain I feel is nothing compared to what he felt on the cross, and I mean that.
Look, even
Yeah,
what I said in confession, the pursuit of bodybuilding, even though I've been bodybuilding for the past 10 years, the pursuit of this is ultimately vacuous if there's not a point to it. And your point is simply to do exactly what?
well, in my case, it's sort of like even when I'm doing like the number counting in my mind, I'm engaging in a sort of like special like interpretation of numerology. Like, so like when
Numerology,
I'm in
so Jewish gematria?
no, when I'm in the final 3 reps, like I remember the Trinity. Like I'm like, okay, like this is where I have to kind of count it up. I kind of have to do all three. And it's almost like there's a sort of religious symbology to it, almost like like a cosmic significance. Because they're
That's
on a deeper level, like what I was talking about
literally
regarding
insane.
that. Hold on, fight. In terms of that perennialist idea, I kind of start with like the one as the sort of like the unity, the two as the duality, and then the three as the reunification, right? Like it's a very dude. I'm being very vulnerable here by telling you like what's going through my mind when I'm lifting. By the way, so like be very careful with how you antagonize it. Yeah.
This is crazy in the first place. Do you understand what periodic overload is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so then you wouldn't do sets that would end in 3 in the first place. You could do sets in 2, you could do sets in 1, you could do pyramidization, okay?
I'm aware, like Mike Grizzartel talks about this in his Renaissance periodization YouTube series. Like, I'm aware of what you're talking about, but what I'm specifically referring to is like, as I'm doing my normal sets, when I get to the final last 3 reps, this is what's going through my mind. Like,
That's
as
insane.
I'm thinking about the technique as well, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's ultimately vacuous if you're just pursuing bodybuilding for the sake of bodybuilding.
It's not though. I'm pursuing it for the sake of the attenuation and stress inoculation, along with the chasing of pain, to try to kind of like get into that pained mind state, which is
Buddy,
this,
you
which
don't
is a
even go to church. What the fuck are you talking about?
well, dude, because like I told you, man, I told you, it's a matter of my own
So
my
we're
own
all buried
personal
to burden the
circumstances.
cross. Or we're all called to bury
No,
burden the cross, but it's only in the weight room. How does that make sense to anyone?
that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I have had multiple opportunities to try to like point people in the direction of the light. People that were lost, people that were atheists, and then I try my best to like remind them that they're wrong. But in the most gentle way. You have to understand that we live in very trying times, man.
You could
Where
go to
you can't
church,
openly
buddy.
proselytize.
That's just completely incorrect.
No, dude, church participation rates are down, attendance rates are down. Like we live in
Because
a
of people
very
like you.
well, here you're right, fight. You're right. But more importantly, you get into this concept of the Kali Yuga. I don't know if you're familiar with that, with like this new dark age that we're in.
Oh,
That's
you
ridiculous on its
homosexual loser.
face. That's ridiculous on its face.
You gonna
Do
tell us about
it.
Punjabi cosmology now?
No, I'm not.
Kali Yuga.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna do any of that because I know I'm in the
What,
Catholic
what,
chat.
what what
So
does it have to do with the Kali Yuga? What does Hinduism have to do with Catholicism whatsoever?
Yeah, you can talk
well,
about Kali Yuga all you want.
well, you gotta understand, right? That Catholicism as a religion is syncretic in nature, right? Like it doesn't stand as like
Does
a
not allow perennialism. Does not allow
well,
universalism.
I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't, but you can engage in your own sort of scholarship, and you can look at the genealogy of ideas that brought about the Catholic faith, and you can even
Dude,
look at what
you
happened
can disprove Hindu cosmology with logic and science. It's obviously fake. You don't have a cyclical universe.
again, free
It's
Derek
actually easier
Chauvin.
than that. It's easier than that is
Yeah,
the issue with Hinduism is
yeah,
reincarnation.
right. And look,
You don't have a logically coherent I guess like argument for the immateriality of the soul.
and yeah, Jesus,
Mathematician,
and that Jesus
stop following me
reincarnated
around.
though.
Get out of here,
Yeah,
dude.
you see,
You're a
but that's the
creep.
thing. What you end up
Yeah.
doing
Get
is you
out.
end up piggybacking on Christian like theology in order to justify Hinduism.
No, I'm not justifying Hinduism. What I'm doing is I'm
Then
simply
what's your
admitting,
argument? Then what's your argument for the soul? How do you go from composite being to
you know,
non-composite immaterial soul?
I'm not
What's
I'm
your
not gonna make
argument?
an I'm not gonna make an
Yeah,
argument
because
because
you're
because
intellectually
I'm ignorant.
dishonest.
No,
Because you're
because I'm
intellectually
ignorant.
dishonest.
No,
It's not because
abysmal.
you're
No,
ignorant. It's
no,
not
hold
because you're
on.
ignorant. It's because you're
Okay, dude.
intellectually dishonest.
No,
It's
no, I'm
because you're ignorant
dude,
that
dude, you're
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 willing to
you're over
conform,
talking
right,
me.
the
You're
facts of
over
your
talking
life
me.
to a
Okay.
particular belief. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
So
That makes you know
no.
what that makes
No,
you? That
dude,
makes you an ideologue.
dude,
That's
now
literally the
now you're
definition of an
bullying me.
ideologue, sir.
That's crazy. That's
No, no,
crazy
you're
that you're doing
coping.
that.
You're just
I'm
You're just
not.
full of
I'm
cope.
not.
So
I'm admitting the limits of my understanding.
no, no, it has nothing to do with the limits of your understanding. It has to
It
do with your
does.
intellectual dishonesty, sir.
No, how am I being intellectually dishonest?
Because you don't have any clarifying foundation and you're willing to like fully wholesale drink the
But I
Kool-Aid
admit
and
that.
follow a
I admit
particular
to that.
ideology.
But I admit to that
It
though.
doesn't
That's
matter
the thing,
if you
Abysmal.
admit to
No,
it or not. You're
Abysmal,
still intellectually
you can't.
dishonest.
No, I'm sorry. That's not how it works. You
That's like the
can't,
hardest
dude.
cope I've ever heard. You know what I mean?
You can't,
Like someone who's
dude.
like, "Oh
I'm
yeah, I'm a
sorry.
liar,
That's
but
wrong.
I accept that I'm a
No,
liar, so
no,
it's
dude.
okay for me to
Yeah, I'm
continue
sorry.
lying."
That's not how it
That's
works. That's
absolutely
not that you're
ridiculous,
being
man.
illogical. You're being
No.
illogical, dude.
Excuse me, you're the
I'm
one
gonna
that's
let
being
you
intellectually
finish. I'm gonna
dishonest.
let you
Like the
finish so
amount
that you
of
don't interrupt me.
gaslighting is unbelievable. This is the problem. This is the problem with ideologues. You end up gaslighting everybody else in order to continue to delude yourself that what you're doing is okay and right and justified.
Are you done?
No, I'm not. We're gonna continue this. You're
All right,
intellectually
no,
dishonest.
go ahead, because I'm not going to speak until you're
It's
done
not a
because I don't
matter
want to be
about being
interrupted.
ignorant. Stop gaslighting other people and stop devaluing the actual infallible ignorance of others.
You guys even
You're
got
just
that baby
coping.
in the background crying.
Again, I admitted
Hey
that I
guys,
don't know
can I
anything.
mention really quickly, as a
Yeah, go ahead.
non-Catholic, I did enjoy staying at 8 different Catholic churches in Italy, and I've taken a few pictures of some of the things I saw when I was there. And I did also give in the
Bro, you were
Vatican,
at
and
Duomo, dude.
oh, I was at a whole bunch of them. I was at a whole bunch of
Dude,
them.
I'm at Duomo right fucking now. Where are you?
No, I'm not. No, this was a year and a half ago. This was not
Okay.
current. But I had a chance to tour a whole bunch of churches, and I got to see where Leonardo da Vinci is buried, and Fermi, and a whole bunch of other Italian leaders or Italian, you know, a whole bunch of popes. You know, of course, the Sistine Chapel is very nice. And I'm freely admitting I'm not a Catholic. I'm a non-denominational Christian, but it was an amazing pilgrimage to be able to see really some of the most just incredible Catholic buildings that and churches
Yeah, but you're
that have
just a
ever been built.
tourist.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to claim that I'm a Catholic when I'm not, because I'm not.
No. But again,
But I
it's
would say it
not.
is a religious experience.
Yeah, and furthermore, to take it back to the original point, it's not intellectually dishonest for someone to admit that they know nothing and that they don't have a foundation for their beliefs while making
No.
claims. No,
That's literally the
because
definition of
that's literally
intellectual
what
dishonesty.
I did, bro. I admitted to everyone that I don't know anything, right? I'm gonna take the Socratic starting point
That's
and I'm
not
gonna
the
go from
Socratic
there.
starting point.
Yeah. So you can't call someone intellectually dishonest when they admit their ignorance.
No. The
That's not how it
Socratic,
works, Abismo. Sorry, man.
the Socratic
You're gonna have to
starting
try
point
again.
isn't like Socratic ignorance. That's not what it is. You have to search for the truth first, and that's why you're being intellectually dishonest. You're not attempting to understand what the actual truth is.
I'm starting from a point of humility. You have to understand that, man. That's why this whole attack is you wasting your breath and wasting your intellectual energy.
No, I mean it's a fair critique, right? How do you account, right, for the immateriality of the soul in your
And I'm
worldview
telling you, and
without
then what I'm telling you is,
without referring to Christianity? You
and
see, that's what
again,
I
what?
mean. The
All
current
right,
path
that
that you're on, it's wholly irrelevant to whether or not you were previously a Christian or not. So why do you keep prefacing it with Christianity? Stop doing that.
all right. So essentially, what I'm telling you is that because I am so voraciously intellectually curious, I was not satisfied with the Christian
Right.
interpretation
And so
of
you
how
apostatized from
the
Christianity
immateriality
and
of
you
the soul
replaced it
works.
with an
I
ideology.
wanted to know
So just
how
be honest about
everybody
that.
thought
Why don't
about
you
the
be honest
concept
about
of the
so
soul
here's
or
the
the
thing.
idea of qualia.
It turns out
So
that you're nothing
that's
more
what I
than
was
being
interested in.
intellectually dishonest, right?
It's not me being intellectually
No.
dishonest.
You
Now you
knew
see,
enough,
you're
right?
conflating
According
intellectual
to your claim
dishonesty
of
with
ignorance,
intellectual
you still
curiosity.
knew enough to
That's
apostatize
the
from
problem.
Christianity. That's claiming to know
You're
something
still
about
engaging again.
Christianity.
You're still engaging
No, you're being
in a
intellectually dishonest, man.
distinction
Here, you can delude
mischaracterization here,
yourself all you want,
right?
but don't
Where the
freaking go
distinction
around
is
pretending that you
dishonesty
can
and
delude
curiosity.
everybody else around
I'm
you.
not intellectually dishonest. I'm
You're not
intellectually
fooling
curious,
anybody except for
and
yourself.
that's the
That's
distinction you're
exactly
failing to
what
make.
mathematician wants.
What?
Mathematician.
Either way, though, man. Either way, like I'll admit that I'm even intellectually lazy at times. I'll admit to that, but dishonest, never.
Why
Like
would you
I'm
study
sorry,
the
and
Kali
I'll
Yuga?
fight. I'll die on that hill, dude. I am not
Why
intellectually
would you
dishonest, bro.
study the Kali Yuga?
I'll be honest, man, because I was interested in thinking about how other people thought about the immateriality of the soul or what they considered the soul or qualia or whatever you want to call it.
Reincarnation?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, fight. From the Eastern perspective, they call it reincarnation. From the Western perspective, like the Greeks, they call it metempsychosis. And then
No,
there's
it's not
other there.
metempsychosis. It's just a
Well,
transmigration of the soul.
Well, again, dude, there's different ways of looking at this conundrum of what happens at the time of death. Even the Navajo believes that there was no death,
Here's what
only a
the Navajo
transition.
believe in. You're supposed to
Only
be a Catholic.
I know, right? But I'm still I'm very fascinated with the Jesuit tradition, right? Because the Jesuit tradition was all about understanding how other people had their spiritual
No,
beliefs,
that's not
so
the
that
Jesuit
hold
tradition.
on, hold on, let me
That's
finish.
not even
So
true.
that you
See,
can,
this is the problem with the Jesuits,
so
is
that
they
you
let this
can
happen.
use
Like
metaphors
the
and
Ignatian spiritual
bridge the
exercises leads
syncretic
to this
gap
freaking
between their
dualistic
belief
nonsense.
structure and the Catholic belief
Like I don't
structure,
believe
and you can
Ignatius of Loyola was a
proselytize.
saint. It was a
That's what
military.
Obispo is not
It
getting.
was
Ignatius
So
of Loyola.
he was a former military
Jesuit
order and turned into a
proselytizing
secret
was,
society.
dude.
This is a bunch
Wait,
of
what
Whatever,
are
fucking
bro.
you guys reading?
delusional
What
nonsense
what'd
from
you
the
say you read?
Jesuits. It just devolves into this all
Kali
the whole time.
Yuga.
Yeah.
What's a
Kali
Kali
Yuga.
Yuga?
It's like I don't
But
really want to get into it, dude, because this is a Catholic chat. But
No, get into it. Why wouldn't you talk
What is
about it?
it?
You're allowed to talk about it in the Catholic chat.
well, it's basically like it's thought about as like the dark. Well, they consider like reality cyclical, right? So the and then the Hindus
Yeah,
believe
but that's
that
still not an explanation for the
there are different
immateriality of the soul.
stages in this great cycle, and in the final stage is what they call the dark age or the Kali Yuga, when there's like increased hedonism and degeneracy and anti-intellectualism and so on, where people forget about like their true spiritual roots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do you not see the irony
Let
in
me
that
look this
last
shit up.
statement?
Well, the issue here is, right, that
Kali
it's
Yuga.
fascinating how you can look at the Kali Yuga when it talks about and in parallel to what's happening in
So what's
Western
happening in
Christian
your
faith.
life?
No,
You're,
what's happening?
That's the
What's
Kali
hap?
Yuga is
No,
basically
Abysmal,
a
Look
it's a
at,
metaphor
dude.
for your freaking own life, dude.
Look at church
That's
attendance, bro.
crazy, man.
Church
oh,
attendance is
How
on
you're
the
not
way
you're
saving
down.
the church yourself.
anti-intellectual,
Oh my
right?
God,
You're
dude.
hedonistic,
You're
Okay,
not
right?
saying the
okay,
Lord's
And
David.
you're
okay,
You're
giving
not
up the
bro.
going to church
foundations of your
yourself.
own
Okay,
spirituality. Oh my
You're
God,
okay.
not
it's an
going to church
allegory for your
yourself.
life.
You're not
All
going
right,
to
bro.
church yourself, buddy.
All right, bro.
Wait a minute, I'm looking at the Kali. Which book is it?
No, it's not in any particular book, but it's like part of the Hindu faith, and it's one of the shortest of the four cycles. It's so one of the characteristics of it is limited consciousness, loss of spiritual abilities, lack of mental clarity, lack of will, right? And then you have slavery, military fighting, all that, right? The acceptance of harsh and cruel conditions, all that shit. By the way, I'm reading this off of Google. So if you look up Kali Yuga meaning, you're gonna get a very similar breakdown of what it means. It's considered the degenerate age,
It has
right? The
nothing
time
to
of
do with
destruction and
That's
Catholicism.
where
corruption
we
and
are
so
right
on.
now, right?
It
Yeah,
has literally
that's what
nothing
they
to
say.
do with Catholicism. It has nothing to do with
I know it
Catholicism.
doesn't. I know it doesn't.
Hello, guys.
That's why I wasn't comfortable talking about it, because we're in
No,
the
no, no.
Catholic
You can
chat.
talk about it. You don't. I mean, you can talk about non-Catholic things in here. That's not. I mean, this isn't a Catholic room. This is an Ask the Catholics room.
No, I hear that. But either way though, I think that there is some interesting wisdom to be had regarding
I don't
why
think so at
there's
all. I think it's just
Gnosticism.
decreased
ideology.
church
It's just
attendance.
ideology.
That is
Why there's
Gnosticism. That is
okay.
Gnosticism. That's what the Gnostics also believed.
Hello, guys.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be a little bit more honest about the types of Catholic beliefs that I
Yeah,
have,
amazing. Now you're acting obsequious,
I
right?
align
Your
myself
foundations are intellectually
with the
dishonest,
Rosicrucian
and then you have the
with the
temerity to
Rosicrucian
claim that you're
school
going
of
to be honest about
Catholicism
your intellectual
or the
You're a
dishonesty.
Rosy Cross.
That's
Rosicrucian? You're a
amazing, man.
Yeah,
Rosicrucian?
yeah,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I'll
That's
admit it.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
insane.
I'll admit it. Yeah, I align with the Rosy Cross.
He's
Yeah.
literally Jewish.
No,
Hey, you're Jewish, admit it.
no, I'm not. I'm
The,
Catholic.
the Rosicrucian school of
Like,
thought.
this is amazing
Yeah.
that you can claim to be Catholic, even though you're an ideologue.
Well, I mean, if you consider me an ideologue because I want to learn more about Rosicrucianism and like
No, no, no,
the
no. You're
Yes,
secret.
that is the
apostate.
basis of
You're an
that's
apostate, right?
yes.
And now
Okay.
you believe in Hinduism. Just leave it at
I
that. Why
I
can't you
don't
be honest about that? What is
I
keeping
don't
you
dude,
you from saying that about yourself?
I don't believe in Hinduism. I don't.
Do you understand what Catholic means in the first place?
The word Catholic? No, I don't. Let me look it up.
This is the
Catholic means
problem with liberal Christianity, man. This is what I'm saying. Like, I grew up with these liberal ass Catholic idiots, dude.
Okay.
And
I
they
just
all
looked it
turn
up
out
through
like
the hole.
this.
Through the hole.
and then
Okay.
they gaslight the rest of the Catholics
How am I
into their
What do
gaslighting
freaking
you
Hindus really
now?
believe
nonsense.
in? Hindus are like they believe in reincarnation and shit.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. So the fundamental thing about
Yeah.
Hinduism or Buddhism is that
hmm
you have to establish the immateriality of the soul. If you can't do that, right, you actually don't have a belief, and you just have an idea, or excuse me, you don't. Yeah, yeah, you just have an idea, basically.
Okay. I mean, dude, I am super fascinated with the idea of what the soul is, right?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
all induction. There's no deduction. You just have
I
your
mean,
intuitions, right? You're
no,
just
I don't
making
just
shit
have my
up, basically.
intuitions. No, I'm not just making shit
No,
up. What do
because
you,
your idea
dude?
of reincarnation is going to be different from another person's idea of
No, dude,
reincarnation.
you don't
That's the
even
way
you
that
don't
it
even know what
works.
my idea of reincarnation is, man. Like, what are you fucking going on about? Like,
You
Well,
know,
that's the
Jews
thing.
also
You don't
believe
know
in the
what
yeah.
your
Jesuit
idea of
religion, right?
reincarnation is.
Well, if you allow me to
If you were
extrapolate,
intellectually
if you
honest,
allow
you'd
me
at
to
least
extrapolate, then
provide a
you'd be able
clarification
to
or
attack
criterion
something.
for
But
how you
instead, you're
understand the
fighting shadows,
immateriality of the
bro.
soul for
You're
yourself.
actually
But
fighting
you don't
shadows.
have one. You just play
Okay,
ignorance.
okay.
This is a
So,
fake ignorance,
would
man.
you allow me to extrapolate, or
Sure,
do you
sure.
want to
Go ahead.
continue
Go ahead.
fighting the
How do
shadows,
you?
bro? Because
Yeah.
this,
What is
I'm
your
gonna be
argument
honest.
for the
At this
soul?
point, this is
What is your
fascinating.
argument for the soul?
Watching someone intellectually spar with a shadow as you
How
stand
about this?
back,
How about this?
sipping your tea,
Since you
like
claim to
I'm
be
not
a
gonna lie, I'm
Catholic
having a good
still,
time here.
could I
But
ask you?
you're
Could I
making a
ask
joke
you
out of
what is the
yourself.
Catholic? What is the Catholic
You're
argument
making a
for the
joke out
soul?
of yourself.
How
You're
do
making a joke out of
Catholics?
yourself.
No, you are the
You
joke,
really
sir.
are. You really are, dude. So I'm gonna let you gas yourself out as you swing at the shadows, and then you let me know when you want to hear my extrapolation
Yeah,
on
continue, you stupid
yeah.
liberal.
Literally
Okay.
Jewish.
Look,
The thing
Are you
is
done?
you're conceding the argument and then
Are you
claiming that
done?
you're the
Are you
victor.
done?
This is absolutely
Are you
ridiculous.
done?
What's your argument? What's
Are
your
you done?
understanding of
Are
the
you done?
Christian soul? How do you
Okay,
look,
do you
so
understand
in the
the Christian argument for
In
the soul?
Matthew 10:8, it says, "Heal the sick, raise the
That's
dead,
not an
cleanse those who
argument.
have
That no, no, no.
leprosy,
That
drive
now you
out
see that's the
demons.
thing.
Freely you have
That's the
received,
thing.
freely
You're
give."
intellectually dishonest
Okay,
about your own
wait a minute. So in
Christianity.
the Bible, it
That's what
already
led you to
states
be
that
intellectually
all
dishonest about your
people
own faith,
will be
right? And
raised
now you're
from
being
the dead.
intellectually
All
honest
right, no,
by
it says it
culturally
directly in the Bible, Matthew
appropriating
10:8.
another set of
Okay,
beliefs that is not your own.
and you're spurging right now.
This is your
Look at how much
problem.
he's spurging. I literally gave him a
Stop
quote.
referring.
I gave
No,
him a
that
quote,
is
and he's
not an
going hard,
argument.
bro.
hold on.
Quoting scripture is not an
Yeah,
argument. You're
Let
appealing
me
to a set of divine
yeah,
propositions.
let me
yeah,
just countenance
Like
this real quick.
this is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Go ahead, go
Did
ahead,
you go to a
Let
Jesuit
me
high school, sir?
let,
Spag,
let me
are you? Did you go to a Jesuit high school?
go ahead, fight, go
Did you
ahead,
go to a
fight,
Jesuit high school, Spag?
go ahead,
No,
fight.
stop running away. Stop looking for a lifeline. Don't
I'm
give
not
him the
gonna gesture
lifeline,
right now,
Frank.
man. You have to
Spag, did you
calm
go to a
down.
Jesuit high school?
You have to degas yourself right now, bro.
Spag,
Because
did you go to a
you're at
Jesuit high school or
100,
did you go to a
and
Jesuit
you got to
college?
put it down right now. We're in a neighborhood right now, and you're going like 100 miles an
Spag,
hour, bro.
if you
And the
don't
speed
answer my
limit's
question,
15,
I'm
so
gonna
you just
just
got to bring
freaking
it down
mute
a
you.
bit. So
Spag,
fight had
if
a
you don't
question.
answer
Fight
my
had a question.
question, I'm just
I'm
gonna
not,
fucking
dude.
mute
I'm
you. Did you
sorry,
go
dude.
to a Jesuit high
You're
school or did
speeding,
you
and we're
go
in a
to a Jesuit
neighborhood zone.
university?
School's about to start.
Excuse me,
The kids are
sir.
gonna be coming out, and you're speeding. You're gonna hurt
One
someone.
more time.
Fight. What were we gonna say,
Did you
dude?
go to a Jesuit high school or did you go to a Jesuit
I'm
college? If
not
you
gonna
don't answer
address
me, I'm gonna
someone
fucking
that's
mute you right
speeding in a
now.
neighborhood setting. Like
Okay, we're fucking
we're in the
muting you.
neighborhood.
Yeah, so the point that I would simply make about that resurrection, when we look at our resurrected bodies, it's about sanctification in heaven. It's not a cycle of reincarnation. So even when he brought up that quote in Matthew, right, that's not necessarily correct.
Like
They
the
all
thing is,
make
the
sense.
reason why I'm asking him now whether he went to Jesuit high school or a Jesuit college is because I went to a Jesuit high school, and he sounds exactly the same as those fucking idiot morons that I went to fucking school with all those years back, and they still claim to be a fucking Catholic. They're just fucking gaslighting themselves, or excuse me, they're deluding themselves, and then they're gaslighting other people. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they claim that Pope Francis is some beacon of orthodoxy. This is ridiculous.
Christ
Why
is
did,
king.
why did you
They're
have to bring up?
apostates.